Hey internet, welcome back to my channel. It has been a really long time since I've sat down to actually film a video. The last couple of videos you would have seen, I actually filmed over the course of the last few years. So it actually has been 2, maybe plus years since I've sat down and filmed a video for this channel. I have been filming a little bit more regularly for my planner channel, but I also have stopped doing that probably for the last 6 months. A lot has changed and I do intend to film a video going through all the changes that have happened, but I'm hoping to come back. I don't know what sort of routine or what sort of schedule I'm going to be on for any of my channels. I'm just gonna film and wing it. I probably will do a get ready with me, or maybe I talk to the camera, I'm not sure, for this channel, just giving you like a laundry list of all the things that have happened. But because I haven't filmed in so long, I'm kind of nervous. I'm not really sure how all this works again because all my equipment is different. I don't have all the same lighting setup that I used to have, so I'm kind of depending on a lot of natural light right now to try and get me through. So and I do still have my ring light, but yeah, other than that, it is very different setup. So I thought I would ease into it with some videos that I've had in mind, some makeup videos, because I feel like I can just focus on the makeup and I don't have to like I don't know, I just find it easier. Anyways, today's video, it's going to be a Rimmel video. I've been wanting to do these full face videos for specific makeup brands for a really long time, and I've done a couple of them. I've done one for CanMake, I think I did one for L'Oreal, and I did one for Nude of Nature, or Nature of Nude, or something like that. But I have like 30-40 different brands I would love to eventually get through, and these videos are really more probably for me than anything else, because I really want to, I like trying new products, but I kind of need a reason to try, say, the obscure eye primer from this brand rather than just sticking to the ones that I currently use. So these type of videos kind of force me a little out of my comfort zone to try new things. So I have a bunch of Rimmel products. Some I've used obsessively, so I can tell you I love them, and some of them are brand new to me and I haven't really used them before, so we will get into it. Okay, so what I will say is that not all the brands that you'll see in the future, and even for Rimmel, I suspect, will have, or at least I couldn't find all the products. So for example, I think there's one brand that's coming up soon. I couldn't find a concealer. At least it was constantly out of stock, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy it in time, and I don't really want to get a shade that doesn't match. So I'm just going to not use that product, even though I might normally use it. So I'm going to try and be as puristic as possible in these videos, but if there's a specific item that I really need, which I can't think of, but if it does come up and I don't have it in the brand, then I will just pull out something that I'm comfortable using in my sort of day-to-day routine. So the first one is this Rimmel Magnify Eyes Eye Primer. I actually really like this. I've used it a couple times, not a couple times, I've actually used it quite a bit, and I find that it is very long lasting. So I'm just going to put that on my... Weird, I feel like I usually do foundation first, but I feel like I just switch it up depending on what I'm in the mood for. I think what I'll do is I do kind of feel like I want to do my base first now, but I've already put eye primer on. So I think what I'll do first is just do a wash of color over my eyes so that my eyeshadow, my eye primer doesn't crease, and then I'll go into foundation. Yeah, so the eyeshadows I'm going to use is this Magnify Blush Edition. There's quite a few different ones that you can get. I think I saw like 2 or 3 other like versions of this, but the blush one seemed the most appropriate. Given the color range here, I'm probably going to do a pretty neutral eye look. And I've never used this before, so we'll see how it goes. But I'll just put a sort of a more light peach base on. Should be a good starting color. And then I'll come back to the eyeshadow, because yeah, I think I do want to do my foundation first. Yeah, and please don't judge my makeup techniques. It's been a long time since I've been doing makeup properly, because I've been working from home for the last 2 years. And if you watched my video, a couple videos back where I showed you the makeup that I would do working from home, it still pretty much stands. I've probably simplified it quite a bit more. Maybe it's just because I've been lazy, so I haven't really felt the need to do much more than that. But yeah. All right, so I put a rubber band between these two because these are the two foundations. It's more that because my color is right in the middle of them, So this is the Rimmel Match Perfection. I've got shade 100 Ivory and then shade 10 Light Porcelain. And I find that I'm kind of a mix between the two. I mean, I don't know for sure. I mean, I could be just one now. It's been a little while, but I'm generally a pretty big fan of Rimmel foundation. I've used this for quite a while now, so I feel like I've been through several bottles of this, but yeah, quite like it. So I'm just gonna mix it. What I do is I have about 1 pump of the Ivory, and then I do half a pump of the Light Porcelain, and then I just mix it. I feel like such an artist because I have a bit of a mixing palette here, which I assume actual artists would use for their paintings. Let's see, what is that like? I mean, that looks pretty good. It almost looks a little light on the camera, but I think blended out it should be okay. So yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, it's well, it is lightening my skin a little bit, so I probably didn't need to add the Light Porcelain. I probably could have just gone with the Ivory. Oh well, what's done is done. I will say, despite my lack of readiness to travel, I feel like a lot of people I know are getting back into travel now, but I've heard a lot of not so great stories of travel, which is part of why I'm just like, you know what, I might just keep putting it off a little longer because, for example, one of my, someone I know, my cousin's friend, I think they're friends, yeah. I'm like, because I have such a big extended family, sometimes I can't tell if people coming are like actual relatives, but more distant relatives, or friends, but my cousin's friend coming overseas, I think their family booked like 2 weeks vacation or something like that to come visit Australia. I mean, it could be more, I don't know, I could be just assuming. Oh, that definitely feels a little bit on the light side. But I don't hate it. I kind of like it. And I think with a bit of powder and bronzer, it will like look a little bit more matching with my shoulders, for example. Yeah, they booked 2 weeks of holiday and they came to Australia, and right now, this video is probably going to go a little later than expected, so the rules could have changed by now, I have no idea, but they booked 2 weeks vacation, I think, and then they came here, and then the father tested positive for COVID, so in Australia you have to, well, Victoria, you have to isolate for 7 days in a hotel. So he isolated for 7 days, so that's a week of vacation gone, and then tested, he was negative, but then his son tested positive because obviously they were isolating together. So then they had to restart the ISO for another 7 days. So they basically spent the whole holiday in an ISO hotel, and they have like this last weekend or something, so my cousin is taking them out to Phillip Island. But imagine like spending thousands of dollars to go to a country and then having to isolate for half the holiday. That's like a big deterrent for me not to travel because I just like feel like such a waste. All right, so moving on to concealer. I've not tried this one at all, so I don't know. It might be too light because it is in 10 Ivory. It is Lasting Radiance, Conceal and Eye Illuminator. So let's give this a shot. Doesn't seem too light. And I think I'm just going to, maybe I'll do a heavy hand. I'm a bit nervous about putting too much makeup on because I feel like I've been not doing proper makeup on camera for so long that I'm probably not so good at it, and I'm going to stuff it up and then I'll edit this video and be like, oh, Celina, you look like a clown. It's not too bad though, that's blending. I don't even know if it's actually providing much coverage though. Is it? I can't tell. I don't think it is. It doesn't seem very... It almost seems maybe more like an illuminator than a concealer, but it did say conceal, so I don't know, am I doing this wrong? I have like freckles here, so I'm just trying to see if it covers up my freckles. But it doesn't feel like it's doing a great job. That, or I'm just too used to the Tarte Shape Tape because that's my sort of everyday concealer that I'm used to using. And that gives super great coverage. Okay. I don't think this is the best concealer. I suspect it's an okay concealer, maybe it's illuminator, but I don't know. Doesn't feel like it's concealing much. And also the video is getting really dark. Give me 2 seconds. I feel like it's a little lighter. I feel like it almost starts, it's almost like the sun is setting, but it's not actually that late. It's only like 4 at the moment. But it almost looks like I'm filming later in the day. I guess it is kind of winterish now. Winterish. It is winter. So it is probably the sun is setting much earlier than before. But we'll just push through. All right, so powder. I want to set my under eyes with loose powder. This is the Rimmel Match Perfection. It's kind of same with the foundation. And again, I really, not again, because I didn't say that before, but I really love a lot of the base products, except I guess not that concealer, but I really love the base products from Rimmel. This is brand new though, so I haven't actually opened this one before. So I usually use that just to set my under eye, and I'm using the wrong brush. I think this is an eye brush, but I can't find the brush that I normally use right now, so I'm just gonna go with this. But yeah, I prefer to just use loose powder to set my under eyes so they don't crease, or any areas that I don't want to crease. It's almost like, I know the term is baking, but I honestly don't think I bake much. Especially when I compare to the other YouTubers who actually do like proper makeup and stuff like that, I wouldn't consider myself baking. Okay, and then for the rest of my face, I'll use this face powder, which I have used to death. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte. This is probably like my 4th one. This is brand new, by the way, because I've moved on to something else in my like day-to-day makeup, but I hand on heart can tell you this is like one of my most favorite powders ever. I have full trust, full faith, love it to death, and would use it again and again. So I'm going to just use that to set the rest of my face. Okay, you know, the lighting is starting to really bother me because the sun's going down, so give me a little bit. I'm just gonna do some tweaking and see if I can fix it. This is the point. This is why I wanted to do this video now, so I had a chance to try and figure out how to get this environment to work. I think that's a little better. Probably not as nice as it was at the start because natural light always seems to do better, but I will be able to judge this later when I edit the video. Anyways, let's keep moving because I feel like I'm taking forever to film this video. Okay, so let's go back to the eyes and then I'll finish off the rest of my face later. I just want to do my eyes first so I can kind of balance out my blush accordingly. I'm going to go back into the Magnifies blush palette, and I'm telling you right now, the look I am going to do is very simple. And I'll try to show you guys what shade I'm using, but I'm going to take a transition shade to my crease. I'm not gonna lie, I find that it's I'm like really digging into this transition color, like this one here, and I am not getting a lot of color payoff. I feel like I have to keep going back in to get more, and I'm hardly getting anything. Let's try a darker color. I'll try the one next to it just here. See if this is more appropriate. It's just that I really love that sort of taupey color for my crease, and then have it blended out. This one's a little bit showing up a bit more, but it's kind of disappointing that this taupe color is pretty light. I'm not loving these eyeshadows, I can already tell. It feels like it's taking a lot of effort to blend. And I mean, I'm no eyeshadow expert or pro. I'm going back to the taupe shade just to look under my eyes a little bit. I'm no connoisseur when it comes to this sort of stuff at the moment, but when I do my everyday makeup, it is not this hard. I don't think I'm gonna love this eyeshadow palette that much, and I don't know if it's very popular or anything, but yeah, I'm finding it kind of hard to work with. And then I'm going to take, see, I was going to use that other taupe, that color that I used for my crease. I was actually planning to use it for my outer corner, but now I've already used it for my crease. And this one at the end is like really dark. I feel like that's more liner color. I think it'd be too dark, so I'm just going to go the one next to it, even though it doesn't seem that dark, and just see if I can smoke up my eyes just a little bit. It's going to be a very subtle look today, which is probably not the worst idea, given I'm not filmed in a long time. I feel like I probably need to like spend a bit more time practicing off camera, but at the same time I'm like, I'm not trying to claim like I'm some sort of expert. I'm just kind of having fun with it, so maybe it doesn't matter. I just like making videos. I'm gonna blend this out just a little bit. I mean, it did make my eyes a little smokier, but I feel like I have to really work for it, and I still I'm not getting the sort of payoff I'm hoping I can get. Yeah, this is almost like a sultry-ish look, but in person it's actually a lot lighter. I don't know, for some reason in the camera, at least in the viewfinder, it looks a lot darker. So now I'm going to go for a much lighter shade just to for my center of the lid and inner corner. Don't know how shimmery these shades are. They don't look quite, like, they almost look like satiny shades. They don't look quite shimmery. Maybe I'll use my finger for this. A little bit. Definitely. Okay, I did kind of get a bit of a highlight, but not a very strong one. I'll go under my eyes just a little bit, just on the inner third. There we go. All right, you know what? We're gonna live with it. I don't want to spend too much time. I want to get onto the other products. So the liner I'm going to use is a liquid liner. I didn't find any gels, and I'm not as, I don't use pencil that much unless I'm like trying to do a smudged out look. So I decided to go with a liquid liner. It is called Glam Eyes. It is this little tiny little brush. So there's not a lot of margin for error when it comes to these sort of liquid liners. If I get it wrong, then I get it wrong. So I'm going to try my best. And do a bit of a wing liner. Not the worst, but I don't really love these sort of liquid liners. I prefer like the pen type where you get either a thicker brush or a thicker felt brush or the potted gels. I feel like I get more control. This one I feel like I'm going to stuff it up at any second. I also find that the brush is so thin and flimsy that if I'm trying to get a thicker liner, it's really hard to color in. Maybe it's because I have creases in my eyelid and so it's hard to get in all the little crevices. I guess for some people this would be really great because it's so thin and precise, but for me, yeah, this is not something I think I would use often. They look a little not even, but I think for the most part they're pretty even. But yeah, not loving that eyeliner. Probably wouldn't recommend it. I'm going to move over to mascara. I'm using this one called Luxe Volume. I've used this already a few times. I don't quite love it, to be honest. It is just a so-so mascara. It will add a little bit of volume, a little bit of length, but besides that, nothing much else. So I'm definitely going to use it up though. Like, I don't like throwing products away generally, so I'm really bad at decluttering. I'd like to try and I'd love to do a declutter video because I have so much stuff I should have decluttered when I did the move here, but I didn't really declutter much. I just kind of brought everything with me. So, well, that's not true. I probably threw away, I did throw away a lot of expired stuff. So I did declutter, but I wish I could declutter stuff that I know I wasn't going to use that's still usable so I could give them to some people. But yeah, anyways, I will finish off this mascara because it only, I don't know, you can't really give them to anyone once you use them because of how intimate they are. But also, I just feel like unless the mascara is terrible, like gives me an eye infection, I will use it. I will say I quite like the wand for this because it's a kind of a rubber wand. I'm not as much fan of the natural bristles for some reason. Although I do love it for, actually I should take that back because I'm lying. Like Lancome Hypnose and Maybelline's Falsies, I think they use more natural bristles, and those are like my two top favorite mascaras. I don't feel like it's doing very much. I know I've got quite a bit of product on my eyelash. It's starting to get clumpy if I'm not careful. So I've got mascara in this eye, no mascara in this eye. I don't know if you can see a difference. When I look in the viewfinder or the mirror, like besides having my lashes a little bit more defined, it's not a huge difference. And yes, I could curl my lashes. I actually don't really curl my lashes though. It's not something generally in my makeup routine. If I use a mascara I really love, it still looks good even without curling my lashes. Alright, so eyes are done. Time to move on to brows. I have two products for brows and I'm not really sure which one to use because I've not used either of these before. One is called Brow This Way Fill and Sculpt Eyebrow Definer, and then the other one is Wonder Fill Brow. It's a clear brow gel, so I will use the clear brow gel for sure. But this one I'm not actually sure how it works. So, okay, one's a spoolie, that's fine. And then one is, oh, okay. It's like a pencil, but it's like a really thick teardrop looking pencil, and that seems too thick for me. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll brush my brows. I have gotten pretty bad at like managing my brows. I just kind of let them grow out now. A little bit of grooming here and there, but other than that, they're pretty natural. You know what though? I do like the color of this color. I don't know if it's just me. I actually find it quite hard, especially with a lot of brands, Western brands especially, hard to find eyebrow pencils that match my color, because the darkest is usually like dark brown, which I think I could probably get away with, but it always looks odd to me when I look at myself because my hair is black. So I always look for like an ebony sort of color, or I feel like it's more, pulls more gray tone than warm. Okay, but yeah, you can see I don't do a lot with my brows now because they're not fluffy and bushy or anything like that, but they lean towards that more than sparse, so I'm lucky in that sense. I don't have to do much. And then I'm just gonna, oh my god, this is the tiniest little applicator ever. I'm just gonna put this on my brows just to set them. Oh, I love this one though. Hopefully it actually sets and stays like this for a while, because right now I use the Anastasia, what am I saying? Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel, or I'll use the Benefit one because those are really good. And I also have this like weirdness where I prefer the brow gel to the tube to not be see-through, because I know that when I do my brows it's picking up pigment and then it's putting it back in here, and then the gel gets kind of clunky and gross, and it does that really fast. So it does it before the product's even expired, but when I see it I feel grossed out, and so after like 3 uses I want to change it, because I used to use the Essence one, which was clear. So that's why I started moving on to those ones where you can't see the inside, so you can kind of get away with it, but those are like on the pricier side, so this is good. I will definitely switch to this. All right, so now we'll move back to the face just to finish it off. So I have this palette here. It is called Rimmel's Sculpting palette. It has 3 shades. It has a highlighter, a bronzer, and a blush, and this is in Coral Glow. And I'm not sure if I'll use all of them because I don't think I want to contour today. I'm a bit, especially this is not really a contour color for me. Contouring would be a bit more of a cooler tone color, and I've not used this before either, so there's quite a few products in here I haven't used before, so it'll be a first time. It's a real first impressions. I mean, the pigment is not bad. There's some payoff at least. I don't know, can you guys see it? I can see it in person. I wish the pans weren't so close. I feel like I'm gonna accidentally hit the bronzer by accident. Okay, I don't know if I got too much blush on now. But I generally like this blush. I mean, I'm generally a fan of coral colors and it looks nice, so yeah. But I prefer single pan products if I can get them. I'm not single pan necessarily, but for like face stuff, I prefer the pans to be much more separated because I am not elegant and I'm unco, and I will probably get them all mixed up by accident, just like when you dip in. So I usually go single pan, and then I'll grab some of the highlighter. Okay, well, it's really subtle. I think it's a pretty subtle highlighter. You do have to work it in quite a bit to get product though. Yeah, I'm not loving the color payoff of this highlighter. It's almost like satinish and it's subtle. Although, now when I do this at the camera, I do see it. It does kind of look nice, like there's a little bit of a sheen. Okay, you know what? I don't mind this. Not my favorite of products, but I do quite like it, and I think I might try using it a little bit more just to get the hang of it and really get used to it. So, last product. Do I have any more? So the last one I have here is a lipstick. So Rimmel have so many great lipsticks. I have tried some of they have this lip product where you put the color on and then you put a clear product on top of it, and then that doesn't budge. In fact, it was too strong for me that I had to use a toothbrush on my lips to try and get it off, and it bruised my lips and I still couldn't get the color completely off. So that was a bit too much. But maybe those are good for like mukbang videos or something like that, if you're like eating really oily foods, because oils do tend to make my makeup run. So maybe if you wanted to do that, you're going out for like really greasy dinner or something and you still want it to look really nice, that might be good. I've never had that scenario play up in my life, so I don't need lipsticks that stay that strong. So I'm going to be using this one here. It is called Moisture Renew. I'm not a big fan of liquid lipsticks. I find them too drying. I don't like matte lipsticks. I much prefer sheer lipsticks or highly moisturizing lipsticks. Those are my go-to. But I will say, since the pandemic, I don't use lipsticks that much because I'm constantly wearing a mask. Even now, I still wear a mask when I go out, so there's not as much purpose to wearing lipsticks unless I just want to make all my masks have my lip print inside of it. So yeah. This one is in the shade Notting Hill Nude. So no surprises here, a nude lipstick, of course. It's very me. I haven't tried this lipstick personally before, but generally Rimmel lipsticks, which I have used in the past, I generally like them. I don't know if this is my shade. I think I needed something a bit more pink. This is probably not the perfect shade for me, but we'll go with it because it's the only one I've got right here sitting here. I think the other ones I don't have a ton of Rimmel lipsticks. I think I have like a really bright red one, but we'll go with this because I bought it for this video specifically. So that is everything I've used Rimmel. I think that is it. I'm just checking, making sure I didn't leave anything out. Nope, that's it. Overall, I really love Rimmel products. They're affordable. I think they're great quality, but I would say that my favorites are the foundation, the powders, the face powders, eye primer. Eye primer is really, really good. And lipstick. Lipstick feels amazing. Whilst the color may be not my preferred color, I actually really love the feel of it. It's very moisturizing. It's like pigmented. And they've got a big color range, so you can just go pick something that suits you, but I really love the texture. I love the clear brow gel, so I would definitely keep using this. The ones that I'm not a big fan of, the ones that I'm okay of is probably the mascara. That's okay, but once I use it, I'll probably never buy it again. The eyebrow pencil, that's okay, but I prefer a really sharp tip so I can get a lot of control. I feel like having such a thick tip for me is just going to make my eyebrows look really heavy unintentionally. Maybe it's better for someone who loves drawing out your eyebrows and has sparser eyebrows, I'm not sure, but not for me. And this is okay as well, the face palette. However, the things that I don't like, I'm not a big fan of the concealer. I don't really like the eyeshadow palette. This actually might be something I declutter because I can't see myself struggling through this. And I'm not a big fan of the liquid liner either. I find that just so prone to accidents. Like, I feel like I'm just so ready to accidentally get it wrong. So yeah, those are I think that's everything. That's my take. I will leave all the products linked down below if you want to check it out. But yes, I hope this video was okay. The lighting has just like, from the start of the video to the point of this video now, is completely night and day. But I hope you guys enjoy the video nonetheless, and I will continue to improve the quality of my videos so they're a little bit more I liked how they were so polished and the lighting was like perfect in my old environment. And now I feel like I'm struggling with lighting in this environment, but we will get there. It will just take a few iterations until we finally get there. So yes, thank you so much for watching. This is Celina reporting from, I guess, my new office. Back to you, internet.